oh man, is it hot. Look around the country, ladies and gentlemen. Are you kidding me? 104 in Northern California, 92 in San Francisco, 90 in Burnsville, Texas, 90 in, it looks like, Sarasota, Florida, 90 degrees in Boston, Massachusetts, 97, 98, Washington, D.C., 93, Chicago, Illinois, in the 90s in Montana. For goodness sake, 89 degrees in Bangor, Maine, 89 degrees up there in Bangor. Holy smokes, you don't even need to cook a lobster. Just walk into the ocean, pick one right out, it's all cooked for you. 89 degrees, 99 degrees, New York City. In New York City, a rat was found stabbing a squirrel in a fight over a block of ice. Yeah, I couldn't resist that one, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't resist that one. To talk to us about the heat index today, one of our favorite contributors, the Commander, Mark Denning, RN. Welcome aboard, Commander. How's it going today?
It's cooler. It's cooler. How are you?
I'm very, very good. So listen, you have been in the back of an ambulance for the last 2, 3, 4 days in this high heat index. Tell me what that's been like.
Do you remember the Easy Bake Ovens when we were kids?
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's what you call the back of the ambulance when it's hot. It's the Easy Bake Oven, right? Well, that makes sense, man. Yeah, that's great. There's no AC back there?
There is, but it's dependent on the engine idle in many cases.
Ah.
And my company takes good care of the rig. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But, the day before, on Tuesday, I did the last 3 days, about 13-hour shifts. And in the driver's seat up on the dash, it tells you how hot it is outside. And we kept watching 100, 100, 100, 100. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy. So when you're sitting around at idle waiting for a call, the AC's on low, and so you're in the Easy Bake Oven. So what happened to your physical health while you've been sitting in the Easy Bake Oven for 12 hours a day? What happened to you?
Oh, last night I just, in the middle of the night, all of a sudden my calf woke me up. I was like, ah!
Bad cramps in your calf muscles in the middle of the night? I wonder what that could be.
Gee, I wonder. Not enough of something, and I was doing extra BTT and Ultra Body Fatty just during the day because that's the easiest, right? Because I just put it in my water. I put the BTT in a large amount of water and drink it during the day like you're supposed to. Remember that, longevity people. Sip your BTT during the day. But I was like, I'm trying to flex. Sometimes you get a Charlie horse in the old days. You used to just flex your foot and then pull it up, and it would go away. It didn't work. Then I got another cramp in my lower back, and I was like, hey, this is not singing. This isn't straight. And of course, Nikki, the bearer of all good things, my wife, says, would you like some Cal Toddy?
Well, this is an interesting thing to talk about, right? And we don't talk about daily pragmatic stuff, and really we should. We got people calling in with all these chronic illnesses, right? But here's the deal, folks. The Commander's experience while he's been working in 90 and 100-degree temperatures in his ambulance for the last couple of days. Well, what happens when you're exposed to high temperatures like that? The body perspires. Now, what does the body perspire? Is it sodium and chloride? Potassium? No. Well, yes, but that and a whole host of your other nutrients. Your sweat is a mineral soup. So when you are sweating extracurricularly for whatever reason, whether it's because you're working out or because you're working in the Easy Bake Oven, whatever it is, whenever your sweat index goes up, your mineral index goes down, and you must fulfill that nutritional need every day. You must fulfill that nutritional need every day. And if you don't, even if you've been nutrifying your body every day for the last 25 years, it's a day-to-day thing, just like brushing your teeth, just like drinking water, just like eating enough food. You have to give your body the right amount of the essential nutrients every day especially when there's extracurricular stress on your body, like you're a weekend warrior, you're an athlete, you're working out at the gym, or you're working in an environment where it's a physical environment, you're sweating a lot. And if you don't do that, if you don't fill the body's nutritional tank up, it's only a matter of time until something breaks, and in this case, a calcium deficiency sets in, and calcium deficiencies cause muscles to spasm and or cramp. And here we go. It happened to the commander. For goodness sake, if it happened to the commander, it's going to happen to you, because the commander and I and a handful of other people in longevity have this dialed in. Nobody's perfect. This stuff happens, and we live and we learn. So we have to get this together, ladies and gentlemen, especially in the summer. For goodness sake, it's in the 90s all around the country. It's nuts how hot it is.
That was nuts.
Check
I think my tie was going to burst into flames.
So what's going on in the sleep arena? Let's talk about sleep a little bit right now. I think you were talking to a friend of yours about a sleep problem a couple days ago. Bring me up to speed with that.
Well, this is an elderly gentleman, and he's had a lot of stressors in his life, for one, but he worked the night shift for a long time. And he said, Mark, and I said, yes, Andy. He said, we got to nail down this sleep thing. He says, because he tries to work during the day now that he's off his night job. And it's been, as long as I've known him, probably about a good 6 years. And it just keeps troubling him. And, you know, everybody, like you said, you know, you and I and a handful of people, we keep tanked up as much as we can and keep dialed in. And some people just aren't ready to dial in until, like you said, something breaks. And I think he's finally ready to get on the bus. So, but one of the important things that I've stressed to him and his wife both is I've given them the good food, bad food list and talked to them about bone and joints, because his wife has some bone and joint issues. And we're going to continue to encourage her and motivate her and try to keep her away from surgery and such. And maybe now, after the revelation, they just unfortunately lost one of their sons who was about our age and to a stroke. And it's really starting to hit home for them. And they're just really strong people. It's just amazing how they are. So I was thinking things that we could do that would we have to like reprogram the brain in order to get him to sleep at night in a comfortable way as well as nutrify him, or is that just something that we're going to just be able to nutrify him and just set it back and don't worry about it?
Well, I'm going to really step outside of the box here. I'm really going to step outside of the box here. So, of course, right, his body has to be nutrified. Of course, his body has to be gluten-free, and he has to do his very best to eliminate the 10 bad foods, because when he does that, he's going to significantly reduce the metabolic stress to his body, and he's going to dramatically increase his body's ability to absorb the nutrients that it needs to have a healthy circadian rhythm, in this case, a circadian rhythm. Now, here's where I'm going way outside the box now, brother. The human body is an animal, right? The human body is an animal on planet Earth, and planet Earth is a living organism. Planet Earth is a living organism. Planet Earth has a magnetic core and an electrical field that surrounds the planet. Your body has an electrical field which surrounds your body, and you might have experienced this every time you touch that doorknob in the winter after you've been walking around in stocking feet. Oh, you get a little spark, right? Electricity's flowing everywhere, baby, and we're connected to the electrical grid of the planet. Now, interestingly enough, in order to get your body in sync with the circadian rhythm of the time zone that you're living in, one of the best things to do is take your shoes off, take your socks off, and stand barefoot on good old Mother Earth for about 15 to 20 minutes a day. So if he's got a patch of grass in front of his house, or even if there's a dirt pile in front of his house, I want him, and if you can't find one, go to the park, because there's parks,
I'll go get him. I'll bring
go
him
get
over,
him. Yeah.
You know, and our grass is blooming minerals, buddy, because, you know, we go all the way.
Yeah, you got to love it. You must have grass higher than the roof of your house, man. I would hate to be your lawnmower. So when you connect your body's bare skin to the earth, you know, just standing on the grass, standing on the dirt, standing on the beach, standing somewhere, not on the concrete, standing somewhere on, you know, God's green earth, you are connecting the electrical field of your body to the electrical grid of the planet, And this goes a long way towards booting your computer to fit the computer of the time zone that you live in, because, you know, your time zone is a particular time zone. It's different from the time zone in Hong Kong. It's different from the time zone in Paris. So there's a natural sleep and waking cycle that happens all over the world, 24 hours a day. And when you sync your body up to that, just like syncing your phone to the Bluetooth in your car or whatever, it goes a long way towards helping your body to adjust its circadian rhythm. So I would encourage him to do that, you know, 10 minutes twice a day if he can do it, or however long he can do it. It feels good. Might look funny, but it feels good. Nobody's going to pay any attention to it in the summer, but if you're standing outside with bare feet in the winter, people are going to look at you a little cross-eyed. But there's one more thing that he can do. There's one more thing that he can do. He needs to force his body to get into a normal sleep and waking cycle. So he needs to go to bed at a particular time every night, let's say, you know, 10:30, 11 p.m. But when he goes to bed, right before he goes to bed, I would encourage him to do 3 ounces. How about that? 3 ounces of the white liquid calcium immediately before he goes to bed, and get that Lone Ranger mask with, you know, without the eyes, and put it over his eyes and turn off all of the sound, close the blinds, turn off the alarm clock. Well, actually keep the alarm clock on, and lie down in bed and try to force his body into a sleep-waking cycle. Now, we're coming up against a hard break. On the other side of the break, I'm going to give you a clue as to a breathing technique that you can do. How about that? A breathing technique that helps your body to slip into the land of Nod. Stick around, folks. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Everyone with the commander today. You've seen him on Facebook at Wellness Warriors. This is Fire Your MD Now. Stick around. 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. We're taking your calls after this segment. If you're listening to the podcast, hey, you know that number, 855-347-3696. Also, check us out, please, 24/7 on the World Wide Web. FireYourMDNow.com. That's FireYourMDNow.com. Fire. So, all right. So, do you remember the breathing technique? Did I ever give you a clue about the breathing technique? Do you know what that is?
It's not the one where if you have trouble sleeping, you just don't hold your breath for as long as you can. That's right.
That's the one. You hold your breath as long as you can until you pass out. There you go.
That's it. Simple solution.
That's a simple solution, or it's like a hammer to the head, right? Yeah.
It is, buddy.
So look, here's the deal. You may have noticed that your consciousness is, and by consciousness I mean, your state of mind is linked to your breath. And when you're all hot under the collar and agitated and angry, your breathing gets sharp and short and erratic. When you're nice and calm and kind of in a prayerful attitude, your breathing is nice and controlled and slow and steady. Well, when you are asleep, you may have noticed, right, just look at an old Fred Flintstone cartoon, right, and they see old Fred sleeping in the bed and the Z's are coming out of his mouth, right? It is a long inhalation followed by a short exhalation. A long inhalation followed by a short exhalation. Long inhalation followed by a short exhalation. So one thing that you can do to trick your body-mind into slipping into the land of Nod is when you're lying down in bed, when you've got the blindfold on your eyes to block out any extracurricular light, and you've taken your liquid calcium to help your body relax, you can consciously control your breath for 2, 3, 4 minutes, as long as you can concentrate on it. So you want to breathe in and count the beats for how many beats it takes you to breathe in. So let's say it takes you 6 beats to breathe in, then you would consciously force your breath out for 3 beats. If it takes you 8 beats to breathe in, you consciously force your breath out for 4 beats. If it takes you 4 beats to breathe in, then you consciously force your breath out for 2 beats. You have to manipulate it up front. But after you've done this for a minute or two, your body will just start to fall into that rhythm of a long inhalation followed by a short exhalation. And if you do that, before you know it, you'll slip right off into the land of Nod. Now, once this guy or anybody that's struggling with time zone stuff or trying to regulate a normal sleep-waking cycle, if they ground their body in the electrical grid of the earth, by the way, that technique is referred to as earthing, E-A-R-T-H-I-N-G, and you take your nutritional supplements, and you do this breathing technique just for a couple of nights, he should be good to go. And then once kind of you've gotten into your circadian rhythm, you know, once you've bumped the train back onto those tracks, it just stays on those tracks. And then life becomes good, man. Life becomes very, very good. So tell him to check that out. How old is this guy?
He's probably 65, 70.
Yeah, and he just lost a son to a stroke? You got to be kidding me. You know, we're giving a webinar tonight. Tonight's webinar.
I know.
On stroke. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, I have an online subscription health recovery service. That's by subscription only. Yeah, right on is right. And tonight's interactive live webinar from 8 to 9 Central Time is all about blood, how it clots, why it clots, and where strokes come from, where strokes go to, the mechanism behind strokes, and why your MDs are completely in the doghouse when it comes to understanding the pathophysiology of this, and why our colleague, mentor, and friend, Dr. Joel Wallach, our colleague, mentor, and friend, Dr. Wallach, sued the Food and Drug Administration about stroke. There is a simple solution. There is something that we sued the Food and Drug Administration over in order to secure something called a qualified health claim, so that we can tell you a certain supplementation with a certain substance virtually eliminates the risk of stroke. You've heard me talk about it on the radio show before. I'm going to give a whole webinar about it tonight, 8 o'clock Central Time, for subscribers only. So if you're a subscriber, God bless you. Check it out tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out right there. It's on the website. You can become a subscriber right now, just like the Commander did, just like the Wellness Warriors did, just like most everybody on Team Glidden did, most like everybody who has a clue in the world did. Check it out. Subscribe to my online health recovery program right there on the front page, fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com. Hang out. We're coming back with the Commander after these messages. Stick around. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Dr. Peter Glidden. It is the 18th day of July, Thursday, July 18th. And if you are a fan of Fire Your MD Now, we originally had a muscular dystrophy webinar scheduled for this evening. But because of scheduling difficulties, we had to push it out a week. So tonight, instead of the muscular dystrophy webinar, we're going to do a webinar on stroke. And the muscular dystrophy webinar, which is free, by the way, to the world, the muscular dystrophy webinar, free to the world, is next Thursday, the 25th day of July at 8 p.m. Central Time. The 25th day of July, 8 p.m. Central Time. So, Commander, let's take it one step. Let's take it one step further. You know, what's your experience been with snoring, and how do you get on the other side of that?
Well, you know, for me, I was a big 325-pound behemoth for a while. And one of the other things we talk about sleep-wise is, in my profession, we get people that work the 24-hour shift, right? So they're sleeping when they can. So with all this broken sleep, you know, that sets up things that happen, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Everything just doesn't start working correctly. I mean, if you want to make somebody crazy, just, you know, I mean, that's a method of torture, is sleep deprivation. I hate it when I become sleep deprived. I hate going on long, you know, international flights longer than 8 or 10 hours. It's like, I mean, even 8 hours, that's way too much, man. It's when you're back there in coach. That's a hard row to hoe, because you don't get any sleep, and then you're in a different time zone, and it's like, oh, my God. I have had some people tell me that when they take Dr. Wallach's liquid calcium, either the Caltati or the Osteo FX Plus, it has a remarkable help with their snoring. Have you ever heard that?
Absolutely. I stop.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, if your husband or your wife is suffering from snoring, it's not bothering them, but it's bothering you. Then one of the things that you can recommend they try as a little in-house experiment is a couple of ounces of Dr. Wallach's white liquid calcium before bed every night. A couple of ounces of Dr. Wallach's white liquid calcium before bed every night. Give it a try. You might not know what you're missing. If you'd like information about how to get this stuff at the wholesale price, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. Hey, Commander, let's say we take a phone call from your old stomping ground, Germany. You up for it?
Ausgezeichnet.
All right, here we go. We're going to talk to Gottfried from Germany, our favorite German.
That's right.
Welcome back, Gottfried. Thanks for calling in again. You are live.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gottfried,
How's it going?
how are you?
I'm okay, Commander.
Yeah?
Wiesbaden is blooming for you.
Amen. Amen. So how's the weather in Germany, man?
It's really sizzling hot.
Really? So the whole world's in an easy bake oven right now.
It's a heat wave going around the whole world, though.
Seems like it. Let's hope it's just, a summer thing and not like a solar flare thing, right? Let's hope it's a summer thing.
Yeah, well, I have to wear that polyester uniform in the back of an easy bake oven, so it's like a double whammy.
I was reading on the plane. I was given a lecture in central Wisconsin last night, and I was coming back on the plane early this morning, and they have those little magazines that, in the front of the seat. And I was reading a magazine article. It said that scientists are predicting that right now, for the next 2 years, the aurora borealis are going to be able to be seen further south than normal because we're entering into a period of solar flare activity that follows an 11-year cycle. So if you're an astronomical enthusiast, ladies and gentlemen, if you're an armchair astronomer, check it out, because even if you live, around Chicago or Boston or Seattle now, even if you live as far south as Washington, D.C., you may be able to get a glimpse of the aurora borealis from time to time. Very interesting. I love that astronomical stuff. But that's not why you called, Gottfried. How can we help?
Look up the sky.
What's going on with the email?
Yeah, did you get it from me?
No.
Okay, yeah, we sent it. So check your inbox again, because it was sent out this morning.
This morning, okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I gave you a list. I think there's 11 or 12 products that are on there. So what you're going to have to do, of course, you're going to have to go into your back office with Youngevity. You're going to have to download and print out the labels for each one of those products, and then try to get that sorted out through, the health czars in Germany.
Okay. They're not czars out there, man. They're not czars. That's Russia, bro. Russia.
So it's all good, Gottfried. I think we're going to have to do this one step at a time. But the good news here, the bad news is that the Codex is in the European Union. The good news is that if we can get some stuff approved by Codex, then it's not just going to be available in Germany, it'll be available in the entire European Union. And that's a good thing.
Yeah. Start the movement, Gottfried. Start that movement.
I'll do my best.
So listen, I'm interested, Gottfried, in what's the quality of life over there in Germany? I mean, what's it like, and how are you liking it, and what's it like to live in Germany full time?
I know, but the problem is my daughter is staying in Virginia, and she's here with me at the moment, and she said here is a wonderful place.
Yeah. Well, you gotta love it. I mean, how long? So she wants to become a German citizen. Well, there you go.
She's a UK citizen, but now American citizen as well.
Well, so she can have triple citizen status. How about that? She can be a citizen of planet Earth, even.
Can you believe it? She's outside drinking beer now. It's about 11 o'clock in Germany.
11 o'clock p.m., I hope.
Yeah, p.m., that's right.
It's beer 100 in Germany.
Now, I hope, Gottfried, that's a gluten-free beer.
I hope so. I don't drink beer at all. So,
yeah. Well, very interesting.
Then secondly, I have a downline in UK who is a diabetic, and she's on the 99 and she's really having problem with perspiration, heavy perspiration in the night. So he wants an answer to this.
Yeah, okay. So is she menopausal? Have her menstrual?
No, it's a he.
It's a he.
Yeah.
That blows menopause out, buddy.
Yeah, I guess menopause is out the window there.
Yeah.
So since he's been on the products and the diet, he's starting to get night sweats?
Excuse me?
Yeah, so since he's been on the products, he's starting to get night sweats? Is that correct?
No, he's been having the night sweat before the product.
Oh, all right. So the most common cause of night sweats, interestingly enough, is a low-grade infection somewhere in the body. Because the body only has so much energy available to it at any time of the day, and during the day when you're up and around and you're thinking and you're moving and you're digesting, the body uses the majority of its energy to keep you thinking and moving and digesting and talking and all of that, right? Now, at night, when you lie down and go to bed, your body has all of this extra energy to use. So what does it do with it? Well, it uses it to fix itself, right?
Right.
And that's the longest time in the 24 hours of the day when you're sleeping that you're not eating, which is why breakfast got its name, which is break the fast breakfast, right? So when you're not digesting and thinking and moving and, all of that, the body uses its extra energy to heal itself and to fix itself. So if there's a low-grade infection somewhere in the body will increase its internal heat in order to try to burn the infection out. So given the fact that this is happening to him, I'm going to bet that he's got an infection somewhere in his body, and so what I would add into the bargain is the killer biotic. Give him the killer biotic, 2 twice a day or 2-3 times a day for a couple of weeks. And, he might benefit from getting a little blood work somewhere or going to see somebody just to make sure that, this isn't a serious thing. But I think that if it were a serious thing by now, he would have known about it. But it's an immune stimulation caused most presumptively by, his body fighting off a low-grade infection somewhere. Does that sound like a prudent idea, Commander?
That sounds good. As you know, sugar loves bacteria, and bacteria loves sugar, my friend.
Okay.
Well, there you go. So this guy's also right. I missed that part completely, which is why you're here, Commander. That's good.
That's
so,
right,
if there's any infectious stuff going on in the body and there's a blood sugar issue, it's going to be much harder for the body to fight and kill that because, you're feeding the bacteria on the one hand with the sugar, and then on the other hand, you're trying to kill it in the middle of the night. So it's a point well taken. What we recommend for all diabetics for the first 90 days of the program, whether it's type 1 diabetes or type 2, in order to give your body a leg up, in order to support and promote your body's ability to fix itself in the face of this illness, well, in addition to eliminating the 10 bad foods and nutrifying the body, the recommendation is go sugar-free. So no maple syrup, no molasses, no alcohol, no fruit. How about that?
No fruit.
Summertime, no fruit. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. We're crazy when we say that, but it's true. So that's how I would be leaning there, my German friend. Now, you're not originally from Germany, are you, Gottfried?
I'm from UK, from Bath.
You're from Bath. So what was it that brought you to Germany?
I was working. I'm a Cisco engineer in IT. And I came to work for Citibank, and then I got sick with Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Son of a gun. Well, there you are. So now, do you feel like you're stuck in Germany, or are you happy in Germany?
I'm a very, very happy guy in Germany.
Yeah, very good. Well, one of these days, we're going to have a longevity event in Germany as soon as we get all of this Codex Alimentarius stuff sorted out. And I want to thank you on behalf of my team for taking the bull by the horns in this regard. Anything that we can do to make this happen for you, Gottfried, we are all in. Thanks so much for everything that you do. Keep calling us whenever you need to.
As soon as I got the email, I'll let my wife check the email now. And as soon as we get the ball rolling, okay?
All right, Godfrey. Sounds good to me. Keep up the good work, man. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are nothing if we are not international, and this is the power of longevity. This is the power of our message. Like the fella said, once you have experienced the truth, you're in its velvet and grasp forever. It worked for the commander. It works for me. It works for everybody in Longevity Nation all across the globe. Proof of the pudding is in the eating. Longevity supplements consistently produce specific and measurable, noticeable, positive change. Give it a try, folks. You have no idea what you're listening. Give me a parting shot in the last minute, Commander. Let's take us out in the last minute.
Well, let's get on that webinar tonight about stroke. You know, those MDs aren't stroke pathologists, and I bring both sides of the fence. So you are the only one that could prevent yourself from getting a stroke. So get Dr. Glidden's advice tonight. Or get with a friend if you can't listen to it and get caught up. Get control of your health. You'll feel better. Your family will feel better. And then the world will feel better. So,
and that's how we're going to do it, one person at a time. Thanks a million, Commander. It's always a pleasure when you're here. I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Now, you know, I don't know, you might want to, next time you get inside the Easy Bake Oven, just go to the corner grocery store and get a great big block of ice. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking your phone calls when we come back. Give us a shout, 866-582-9933. Commander, thanks for everything. I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Dr. Glidden.
In the second hour, we're taking your phone calls, folks. We do have lines open. It's rare that we have lines open, so call us and get in while the getting's good. 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. Now, you know, we're on the same network with Alex Jones, and Alex Jones is a big conspiracy guy. You know, there's all these conspiracies about the global elite and about the Illuminati and about the plans for, you know, takeover and control of the world, and it's all very interesting. But it's theory, right? It's theory. It's theories. So with, you know, truth and lies and misdirection baked into that cake, and it's hard really to know which end is up and what's going on. And, you know, George Norrie from Coast to Coast, of course, it's all this theoretical stuff. Are there U.S. military bases on the moon? Is the Earth hollow? Is the moon hollow? What's the relationship between the United States government and aliens from the Pleiades? And, you know, all of these theoretical conspiracy-esque things, right? All of which are well and good. And you know my stance on the whole extraterrestrial thing. If you think we're alone in the universe, well, look, I got a bridge for you for sale. My advice, keep looking up. However, my point is, those are theories, right? I mean, show me some facts. Give me something I can sink my teeth into. And I'm all down with being open-minded about all of this stuff, and I'm good to go with it. Good to go. What I bring to the table is something much more insidious. Because I don't have theory, I have facts. But my facts are so big and so much in front of your face. They are right in front of your face, but you miss them. It's not a conspiracy, it's a fact. Fact. The leading cause of death in the United States, MD-directed prescription medicine. Fact. Leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, MD-directed medical treatments. Fact. The medical market has been monopolized by the pharmaceutical industry and the MDs since the 1920s. Since the 1920s, the MDs have legislated themselves into the driver's seat of medicine, forcing all other medical disciplines off of the bus of medicine. The chiropractors, the naturopaths, the homeopaths, the osteopaths, the herbalists, all were kicked off of the bus of medicine by the pharmaceutical industry in the early 1900s, giving the MDs and the pharmaceutical companies a complete monopolistic control of the U.S. healthcare system. Now, since the MDs have been driving the bus of medicine, our health is getting worse. Our life expectancy is getting worse. Rates of chronic disease are skyrocketing. Autism skyrocketing. Alzheimer's skyrocketing. Obesity skyrocketing. Heart disease unchanged. Almost $1 trillion of money for cancer research. Hardly any leg up on the whole cancer phenomenon whatsoever. These are unarguable facts before the board, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to your own opinion, but not your own set of facts. Once you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however crazy it sounds, must be so. The simple, undisputed fact of the matter. Not a conspiracy. Not some maybe if and maybe in the future. Who knows? No, right now. But it is such a big fact, it is such a big pill to swallow that we turn away from it in disbelief. The simple fact of the matter, the 100 billion pound gorilla in the middle of this country that nobody sees, is the undisputed fact that MD-directed medical treatments for chronic diseases do not work. They do not work. The medical system in the U.S. does not need to be tweaked. It does not to be regulated up. It does not need to be regulated down. It does not to be massaged. It does not need to be tweaked. It needs to be abandoned. It does not work. Ladies and gentlemen, snap out of it. Let's all take a breath and collectively snap out of it. Log on to Fire Your MD now. Get a clue. Bring your friends and family members and church members to this radio station. It's free. Come to the lectures that we give all around the country. Dr. Wallach and myself and Dr. Corey Gold and everybody else in Longevity Nation. Listen to what we have to say. Apply what we have to say and get results for yourself. Get your health back. As it turns out, you are the change you've been waiting for. Thank you. I stole that from Obama. I know, but that's what I do. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. Take control of your health with knowledge, information, and nutritional supplements. You don't know what you're missing. Stick around. Back with Hour 2 after these messages.